Finally set up. New desk, new place, new portal to hell. Oh, god damn it.
Big oof there, Cybert.
Double damn it. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of That Cybert Channel. I'm Dan Cybert, and why is there always a portal to hell in my closet?
Oh, relax. We just needed an easy way to get to your apartment to eat your soul and take my revenge.
Or why don't you try some Animal Crossing?
What is in Animal Crossing? Oh, this is delightful. How do I get to this island so I can eat the little rhino soul?
And while he's distracted, let's not tell him about the release of Doom Eternal. Roll the history.
Doom Eternal is the latest entry into the Doom franchise. Released March 20th, 2020 alongside Animal Crossing, covering both extremes of the gaming spectrum. After the success of Doom 2016 on just about every console and a very open-ended conclusion to the game, a sequel to the reboot was inevitable. Sure enough, it was announced at E3 2018. F in the comments for E3 2020. The game initially looked like just more Doom 2016, which, is that really a bad thing? But the dev team would soon reveal a game that returns further to the roots visually, but greatly expands on the lore seen in Doom 2016. Doom Eternal promised to lore dump all over the fandom. Wait, that sounded wrong. Development of the game centered a lot around building the lore into a full Doom universe. A Doomverse, as it were. Doom Eternal came out to incredibly positive reviews and tons of wholesome memes between the Animal Crossing subreddit and the Doom subreddit. How the most violent game managed to create such wholesome content with the most innocent game? No idea, but my faith in humanity is 100% renewed.
Yeah, it's just this island with cute animals. It sounds tasty, right? Oh, I gotta go. I'm at his apartment. Sorry about that. Now, on
The
with...
review of Doom Eternal? I couldn't agree more.
What? That came out?
Does Doom Eternal deserve all the praise?
No.
Or am I just fanboying too hard?
That...
Let's boot it up and find out.
So welcome to Doom Eternal in all of its glory. Wait, hold up. There we go. There's the glory. My God, I have been so excited about this game. You have no idea. I've had the chance to play it twice at E3 2019 and once more when I gotta go to PAX East before the current event I can't really talk about.
You're gonna get demonetized anyways, Dan.
I will at least try not to. Anyway, right off the bat, you'll notice that Doom Eternal added a few new options. So let's explore those really quick because there's a ton to cover in this game. And because the script is 30 pages because I hate myself. For Doom Eternal, id throughout the old mediocre multiplayer experience and opted to go for Battlemode, a 1 versus 2 game mode where one Slayer goes against 2 demons.
That's hardly fair. We'll get stomped.
You say something?
The Slayer doesn't stand a chance.
Right. Battlemode offers 5 different demons to play as. The Archvile, Mancubus, Marauder, the Pain Elemental, and some other pointless psychotic demon.
Hey, I'm not psychotic.
That's what you're gonna contest here?
Indeed, I'll have you know that I'm the only Revenant in hell that can speak.
Alright, just pointless.
Thank you. Damn it. Walked right into that one.
When it comes to how it actually plays, well, it's a little imbalanced right now. Matchmaking puts you up against people who are either too good, or you just steamroll the opponents. Since it is 2 versus 1, any bad matchmaking is hugely amplified. Either 2 demons smack the crap out of the Slayer, or a bad demon dies, quickly leaving an underpowered Pain Elemental to try to hide for 30 seconds. It's the mechanics that try to make this unique that end up getting in the way. While the Slayer requires you to just keep ripping and tearing, the demons require a bit more coordination. So, of course, it went poorly.
Defeat.
Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for more high-quality Dan failures. It's what I'm good at. Battlemode has a bunch of great ideas, but something is just off. I do think, though, that it is patchable. For now, let's look forward to Invasion Mode, where you'll be able to invade other players' campaigns to mess with them and ruin their Ultra Nightmare runs.
Whoa! That's pretty evil coming from you.
Not evil, just a dick sometimes. Beyond battle mode, we have a couple of other cool options added in. First is customization, which allows you to reskin the Slayer, the battle mode demons, weapons, and other battle mode vanity items. The best skin, of course, being the Twitch Prime exclusive Doomicorn. This right here is why I will always play this game. Anything you equip on the Doomslayer will show up in the single player campaign, but unfortunately not the demons. Hopefully it'll be patched in later because I have a specific skin for old Rev here.
Really? Wait, do I get fire? Will I literally be on fire? What? What is this?
You just got duded.
How did you get my high school band outfit?
What?
Mistakes have been made.
So, how do you get new skins and such? Well, you can unlock some from playing the game and unlocking achievements, but there's also seasonal content this time around. Each season lasts about a month and functions a lot like a battle pass you'd see from other games, except you don't have to pay $25 a season to use it. I can't believe it's $25 a season. You're giving them like $300 for like a $40 game. I'm looking at you, Fortnite. By completing challenges and playing the game, you can unlock different skins, banners, and icons. It'll be interesting to see if this manages to keep players involved in the game, since once you finish the game, you probably won't boot it up for a while. Unless you're me and am obsessed. Alright, it's time to get into the meat of this thing. I mean, most of the focus is on the campaign, so let's get started with the new game and see what's in store for us. Our carnage begins in a similar fashion to Doom 2016, with King Novik giving us the mission to
rip and tear until it is done.
Oh, I will. All the way till done. Nailed it. We then catch up with what's been going on as we reveal that Earth is Oh no.
Wait, but at the end of Doom 2016, we were teleported to God knows where. Where did we end up? What have we been doing? Game, you can't just...
Pray that he is watching.
I suddenly don't care.
Neither do I.
Rather than a long string of missions like every other Doom, the Doomslayer this time has himself a man cave hub world he'll return to throughout his crusade. And yes, it's a man cave canonically. The developers have said so. While we don't get to go through it too much in the beginning, later in the game, you'll find a lot in the Fortress of Doom. Here you'll find weapons and gear, unlockable skins and upgrades, a gallery of weapons and collectibles, a computer where you can play both Doom 1 and Doom 2, and the Ripatorium. The Ripatorium allows you to jump into a small battle where you can hone your skills and try out new loadouts. Along with the secrets and upgrades, the Fortress of Doom also gives you access to things like mission select and master levels, harder versions of levels that you've already played. Doesn't seem like much to have these here, but it does save you a trip to the main menu, so you gotta give them that. But like I said, you don't stay here too long as you grab your shotgun and head down to hell on earth where the story kicks off. The story in Doom Eternal is nothing like anything we've seen from the series, which, I mean, considering that half of the series wasn't even known for their storytelling, I guess isn't saying much.
No one tells our story, and the thousands of lives ruined by Doom Guy.
You've literally killed billions of people. Half the population in Doom 2 and half the population in Doom Eternal.
But I mean, like, I personally didn't.
As I was saying, the story is unlike anything we've seen before. There is a lot of story going on here, but there is a chance you're gonna miss like half of it. Let's start at the surface level, or rather the story we see throughout our battle for removing arms from torsos. This time around, there are full cinematics that take us out of the first person and also gives us more interactions with characters themselves, rather than Samuel Hayden just kinda yelling at us from his ivory tower. You're half a man now and you deserve it. It definitely makes for a more engaging story this time, but I really do miss the first-person only scenes from Doom 2016. Something about the last game's storytelling made it feel a lot more personal and involved. However, the goal this time around was definitely to breathe life into the world we fight in and build up the Doomslayer as an actual character, so it does work here.
But he says basically nothing.
The Doomslayer doesn't, but the Doom Guy does.
Wait, really? Did he, mention me?
No, wait, why?
No particular reason. I was the one who killed his pet rabbit, but... whatever.
Wait, you killed Daisy?
My crowning achievement!
Do you know how insanely screwed you are?
Incredibly.
So yeah, Doom Guy actually speaks for the first time in the series. If you ignore the comics, but to that point, the dialogue in Doom Eternal is ripped straight from the comics, so they're the same? The Doom continuity is really weird. We get this rare chance to see something in Doom Guy. The effects of going to hell multiple times. We get hints of this in the Doom 64 manual, but the flashbacks to him before becoming the Slayer shows a Doom Guy that is shattered, only knowing one thing: the bloodlust to murder every demon in his path. It's a nice touch we get with the story, but it's important to note that the main story here will be fairly confusing if you're not diving into the Codex for lore. You won't know what these three dweebs are about, who this bitter, self-loathing man is, or even who this
giant woman
is, which given the main audience probably doesn't matter much because we're more interested in this than this. But if you're not jumping into the Codex, you'll be missing the larger point of the story and the themes that the writer spent so much time working on. It's an unfortunate flaw to the storytelling in Doom Eternal. If you don't read the Codex, you don't understand the point. Fortunately though, the lore is insanely interesting and very dense. If you just play through it, you'd think this is about the Doomslayer killing demons plaguing Earth in order to stop an angel from killing all humans. But in reality, this game is about the Doomslayer ending a 1,000-year-old civil war. The lore itself is incredible. It's the part I was really excited about, oddly enough. Doom 2016 raised so many questions about the Doomslayer and Night Sentinels, and I got more than enough answers. And some more freaking questions! Look, I could go on about the lore, but I don't want to dive too deep in it because one, I want you to experience it yourself because it's really good, and two, we're already 14 pages into my script and we got a lot to cover. Let's move on to the presentation, which initially might seem similar to Doom 2016. I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's also different. The biggest difference you'll notice is that this game feels almost cartoonish, and there's kind of a reason for that. The creative director, Hugo Martin, said on the Joe Rogan Experience,
"It's cartoonish violence, though. You could see it. It's very much like a cartoon."
That's the feel we get here. Doom is comically over-the-top violent. Glory kills get pretty out of control this time around. Best example being a kill where you literally bop the head of a zombie into their torso. The tone isn't the only thing that's changed. In Doom Eternal, the designs for items and demons feel much more nostalgic than their Doom 2016 counterparts, especially the demons. Looking at the enemies, you can see a lot more of the old sprites in the new designs. Just search on YouTube for a comparison and you'll find dozens of videos on that exact topic. That doesn't mean every demon looks like their 1993 counterpart. Specifically, the Baron of Hell this time looks very different. He's much more ashen with darkened skin and these giant red blades. So you know, he still looks like he could tear your face off. The thing is, I kinda wish they would have committed to either the nostalgia bait or the new cybernetic look. Don't get me wrong, I love all the designs of the demons, but from a thematic standpoint, it seems all over the place. You have some demons going backwards, and then you have some that have went through intensive plastic surgery that you wouldn't even recognize them anymore. I mean, I didn't know that was the Baron until I looked in the Codex. Now, the HUD this time around has been significantly tweaked. I mean, you can't not see the changes. It's much brighter than anything we've seen in the series. And while I initially kinda disliked it, I would not have it any other way now. Doom Eternal is chaotic, and being able to see what is off cooldown is incredibly important. And can we take a moment to appreciate the environment you'll be crusading through? The set pieces of each stage are enormous compared to Doom 2016, where Doom 2016 felt a bit more enclosed. Doom Eternal bears it all, as you can see giant titans roaming the surface of Earth and the ruined cities of Argenta, the Night Sentinel's homeworld. Let's just take a moment here and just breathe in the set pieces. no regrets. Speaking of Argenta, this time around you won't just be jumping between Mars and Hell. Doom Eternal will have you jumping between a destroyed Earth, Hell, Argenta, Mars, space stations, and another world, which is a pretty big spoiler. Try my best to not completely ruin the game for you if you're still playing or planning to. Each world has a unique feel to it and really brings more diversity this demonic time around. This brings us to the sound design. Similar to 2016, sound effects in this game are great. The gun sound effects make the weapons feel incredibly satisfying to use. Not only that, certain pre-orders of the game also included a classic sound pack for weapons, all the glory of HD with the crushed bit sound effects. Perfection. And when it comes to music, I hope you like metal, which on a personal note, I really enjoy, but my 30-year-old head not so much.
Family Guy joke.
The music here is great and has a few tracks from the past, such as the Doom 2016 theme, which is just the Doom theme at this point, BFG Division, and Victory from Doom 1993. I'm not sure exactly what the title is since the Eternal soundtrack is delayed, so yeah. The unique part of the music that I think makes the soundtrack so great is the inclusion of the heavy metal choir. The composer Mick Gordon put together a group of heavy metal vocalists to form a choir to help create an even more epic tone. There's a great video on it, which I'll link in the description down below. Just ignore the confusing synopsis of this video. I need all that for YouTube's algorithm. Yes, even Doom Eternal gameplay is some of Doomslayer's best in Doom 5. Trust me, it works. Alright, now time for the big show, the gameplay. How does Doom Eternal play? It's the best Doom I've ever played, hands down, no questions asked, don't at me. Out of every game I've ever played, I don't think I've played something that requires me to be using every item, ability, and weapon to win. I play a lot of Overwatch, and while I'm no pro, I'm not terrible. Even there, I lean on a handful of characters and abilities. Doom Eternal requires even more from me than competitive Overwatch. It's a beautiful ballet of demon slaying. Alright, let's slow down for a bit though and quickly touch on exploration. Levels this time around are nearly twice as big as Doom 2016, or at least they feel that way. Along the way are even more secrets and collectibles just like previous games. Toys, Praetor tokens, runes, lore, etc. are all tucked away throughout each level. These will be key in your demon slaying adventures. Similar to Doom 2016, you can upgrade your armor and accessories, your basic stats, and your weapons. While I didn't feel like I got a huge boost from upgrading and mastering weapon mods, the Praetor suit and Sentinel crystals play a big part in keeping you alive. But that's not the only thing here to help. Doom Eternal adds in a life system similar to good old mustachioed man Mario. If you die at any point in combat, you'll spend a life to get full health and continue fighting that fight.
You mean we have to kill the Doomslayer multiple times now?
Yup.
This is exactly why I gave up trying to stop him and started ruining your life.
Wait, the reason you're in my life is because of the Slayer.
Yup.
What a dick.
See? You get it.
Here is a good place for me to quickly talk about the tutorials since almost everything you collect triggers one. Here's the thing. They're annoying and ruin the pacing. They pop up every new mechanic, new accessory, new enemy, etc. Sometimes it's just a matter of slamming the confirm button till they go away, but some of these pull you into training areas to learn the new mechanic. Don't get me wrong, the whole thing is handy for the first playthrough, but replaying the campaign, it just slows things down. I tried to find a way to turn them off, but I couldn't find it. Maybe a future patch or someone in the comments can help me out of this. Tangent aside, these collectibles are scattered across the map, but I do feel they are easier to find than Doom 2016. Well, for normal humans. Why do I show this side to you guys? The maps do a good job showing where to go and how to get them. Rather than the challenge being the search, it comes in more with the problem solving to get them. Some are as easy as punching a wall, but others can have some trickier platforming to them, which is a great segue to platforming. The platforming this time around has been greatly expanded on. We're not just using platforms this time, but we have monkey bars and climbable walls to help us get around.
Hello again, I'm Dan Cybert, owner of Discount Platform Emporium. We've expanded our stock on platforms and platforming accessories, and we're passing the savings on to you. Are your surfaces not climbable enough? Well, get a grip with these affordable climbing walls. Need monkey bars to get to high places? No monkey business here, only just savings. I don't think I said that line right. Man cannons? That's a funny name. We took fire at the price to give you 50% off. So come on down to Discount Platform Emporium. We've got platforms, platform accessories, and a fully stocked warehouse. Please buy them. The bank is coming for me.
The platforming isn't just important to the exploration, it's absolutely key when it comes to combat. So let's hit a late DeFranco and just jump into it. If Doom 2016's combat was like running a marathon, Doom Eternal's combat is sprinting non-stop with one water stand in the middle of the whole damn thing. Doom Eternal continues to build off of Doom 2016's concept of movement being key to survival. You have a couple of tools to help you move around the stage besides platforms and platforming accessories. You begin the game with double jump, but you also gain access to the dash ability. This becomes a key tool in avoiding damage from fast melee demons. The dash will allow you to quickly engage an enemy and get out just as fast before they attack. Trust me, you'll be hitting the dash button or shift a lot. Oh yeah, PC users, you might want to turn that off. That's how you die to a Baron of Hell. But that's not all you have to do to win the fight. As I mentioned before, Doom Eternal requires you to be using every tool in your kit to win. Ammo capacity has been harshly decreased compared to Doom 2016. Chances are you'll run out of ammo plenty of times if you're not paying attention. I mean, look, you only get 10 shots with the super shotgun before you need to find ammo. I need more than 10 shots because, shocker, there's generally more than 10 demons. Fortunately, there are a ton of tools in your kit to help you out. The most important being the chainsaw, flame belcher, and glory kill. The chainsaw instantly kills a fodder demon, or a heavy demon with 3 pips of fuel, to replenish a good chunk of your ammo. Unlike 2016, the chainsaw is now just a single tap of the chainsaw button. Not only that, it will always refill to 1 pip of fuel when it runs out. You will use the chainsaw a lot, as it is the best way to keep your ammo stocked. The Flame Belcher and Glory Kills are key to replenishing armor and health. The Flame Belcher lights enemies on fire, as you would expect from the name. Ignited enemies will drop armor pieces as they take damage while still being ignited. Then combine that with Glory Kills that are the best way to get health pickups when medkits aren't available. Glory Kills also charge up the Blood Punch, which does huge damage in a wave in front of you. So you combine the Flame Belcher and the Blood Punch health rune to basically instantly restore 50% of your health and armor on a pack of zombies. That, my friends, is synergy. When you combine all of these together, you begin the beautiful dance of destruction and gathering. Now, I've seen some of this get criticism online, but honestly, I think it feels really smooth and balanced. There will never be a shortage of fodder demons, and your mobility is so high you can get to wherever you need really fast. Which then leads us to your arsenal. A lot of weapons return from previous games, with some name changes and tweaks. Most notably is the lack of pistol, which, who cares? On a side note, the pistol is in the game, but you do have to use some console commands to get it in. And more importantly, joining the roster is the iconic weapon from Doom 64, the Unmaker, which in my Doom 64 review, I made the bold statement of saying was stronger than the BFG. Once fully upgraded, this weapon deals way more DPS than the BFG can hope to lay down. Apparently there are some conflicting opinions on that, so in the iCard above, vote for what you think is more powerful. Now, while the Unmaker is a laser-based weapon like in Doom 64, it functions very different as it fires in a wider spread and looks less demonic and more cybernetic. This time around, the Unmaker is unlocked by completing Slayer gates, harder secret battles that, well, aren't really that bad. You can handle them pretty easily.
Wait, seriously?
I mean, the enemies aren't that hard to deal with.
That was our A-team!
Oh, your A-team sucks.
This revenge is going to feel so much better than last time!
Oh, Right, you're here for that.
I'm always here for that!
Yeah, but I forget because you just kind of sit there and complain about the games.
Oh no. I've become a bit...
Oh, buddy, you've always been a bit.
Most of the weapon mods return, but some have some slight adjustments, like the super shotgun having a frickin' meat grappling hook. It greatly increases movement, and mastering it lights dudes on fire, and I love it, and I want to adopt it as Cybert Jr. While in Doom 2016, I usually stuck to my super shotgun and one or two other weapons, in Doom Eternal, I used basically every weapon in my arsenal in every single level. And the game needs you to do that to win. Whenever I stuck to just a couple guns, I got punished hard as heavier demons weren't affected by some weapons as much as others. This leads us into the demons you'll be fighting. There are honestly too many of them to talk about each one. Breaking down every enemy would easily push this video to an hour. I would be totally down to do it, but I'm pretty sure only a handful of you would watch, and that future Dan would be super pissed. See? Almost every demon from Doom 2016 returns, some other demons from other Dooms like the Arachnotron return, and new ones such as the Marauder. We'll talk about the colossal pain in the butt in a minute. Doom Eternal introduces destructible demons. Now, while this adds some great aesthetic changes that help build more immersive combat, there is also a mechanic built in here too. Every demon in the game is affected by weapons differently, and some heavy demons have destructible parts that weaken them. For example, the Revenant's shoulder rockets can be blasted off to reduce the number of attacks it can do.
What? First Doom 3 put me in invisible pants, and now Doom Eternal lets you knock off Boom and Boomer?
You named your rocket launchers?
Of course! I mean, don't humans name their...
Yes, we do.
No, I mean, they're...
Feet? Well, some.
Just let me say it, you're demonetized anyways!
Let me dream, Rev! Battles in Doom Eternal blend together three classes of enemies. Fodder demons, as we've mentioned, heavy demons, and super heavy demons. Much like the original Dooms, the enemy placement in this regard is incredibly well done. Heavy demons will always end up being a priority, but leave the fodder demons alone too long and they'll swarm you. You'll need to make sure you're balancing your focus. And with fodder demons being the best way to replenish your essentials, you'll need to strike that balance quickly. Most heavy demons can be dealt with rather easily, though I do hate whiplashes, their knockback is super annoying. Super heavy demons is when you get into territory. The Archvile is back, and he's even more loathsome than before. See, new to Eternal are these totems that boost all demons in the fight to do more damage and greatly increases their speed. It's annoying, but taking out the totem is fairly easy. The Archvile, however, can summon demons, give them the boost until he is killed. So you can have an arena of superpowered heavy demons and you're still sitting there trying to shoot down the Archvile to death as you're being pushed around by boosted pinkies. I hate you. I hope you die in a field of flowers, rainbows, and unicorns. I assume that's what demons hate?
Down to the very point of the accursed rainbow tip of the unicorn's horn.
Perfect. However, nothing deserves more of a wholesome, cute death than the Marauder. While this demon has perhaps the most interesting lore to it, he is easily the most difficult enemy in this game. Yes, even more than all of the bosses combined. He is insanely fast, heavy hitting, and is incredibly defensive. Though, that doesn't mean he's unbeatable. While he'll block most of your attacks and smack the hell out of you if you get too far too close, he does have openings for you to take advantage of. Every now and then his eyes will flash green, which means you have a chance to counter. Just smack him with your super shotgun and lay down a few hits from a heavy weapon. In the end, he's an endurance test that needs to be soloed. So make sure when you fight a Marauder, you don't have any distractions like a psychotic talking skull. Pointless talking skull.
Look, we don't like them either.
You don't? But they provide such a good distraction for you.
Glory stealers! They just jack all our kills from us and then simp for the all-powerful con maker.
Shocking.
Look, demons can hate other demons. We do attack each other.
No, it's shocking that you know what a simp is.
90% of demons simp for the con maker, not this Revenant. I'm too busy working on a certain revenge plan.
Right. You planning on doing that this video? I mean, you don't have much more time for that.
All in due time, flesh bag.
Great. Anyway, that brings us to the biggest of the bad. Let's briefly talk about some of the bosses. Not too many, since I don't want to get too far into spoilers, though most of them have been spoiled at this point if you know anything about Doom. The first boss comes in the form of the Doom Hunter, which seems heavily based on a boss from Doom 3. These guys aren't too hard. It will require you to use the plasma gun to take out its shield, but other than that, keep moving and you'll take them out. They eventually become regular enemies on your journey, so you know they aren't impossible to deal with. Unlike the Marauder.
Freaking simp!
Freaking simp! Next up though is the Gladiator. This was a fun boss fight that shares mechanics with the Marauder, but without the headache. It comes in 3 stages, each with quicker and more devastating attacks. Similar to the Marauder, you'll need to wait for the green glow to land counterattacks that stun him. Blast him with all you got and you'll win. The final 2 bosses I won't get too much into since it gets into spoiler territory, but the final fight is epic. You'll be attacked on all sides from other demons as you try to knock out the boss's limbs. But to help you make quick work of the demons, you'll be given unlimited spawns of chainsaw fuel, blood punch charges, and pips for your crucible, an energy sword that can wipe out nearly any demon with one swing. Easily one of the most fun weapons in your arsenal. When you're done with the game, make sure to turn on infinite ammo and go to town with this thing. With a lot of quick movement and lots of shots from your own maker, you manage to wipe out the greatest threat to humanity as you walk away, and it just kind of ends. You wipe out the final boss, you get some narration and roll credits. Huh. Kind of was expecting one less backstab from Samuel Hayden.
The journey of Doom Eternal is epic, but the ending leaves a lot to be desired. It's not as bad as Mass Effect 3, but it isn't Last of Us. So what are my final thoughts on the game? This is the best Doom in the series. Sure, it has some flaws, but my God, does it feel great to rip and tear. So, that's it. We're all done.
Oh, cool.
Going to go to end card now. Important information for anyone that might be planning any type of revenge.
Oh, but revenge is already complete.
What?
Oh, yes. While you were fanboying all over Doom Eternal, I've been using your computer.
You actually deleted my channel this time?
What? No. That was last time and it didn't work.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was still uploading.
No, this time I've been downloading. Oh, I've been downloading. And I've been modding your favorite franchise.
Rev, what have you done to my Doom?
Get ready, Dan. For now, you're in for a wad of fun.
You made it to the end, so like, comment, and subscribe. A special thanks to Alyssa B. Crazy, your friend Marcus for his Rev, and Elizabeth Mello and all my Patreon patrons. Follow me on the socials, link in the description, and until next time, Cybert out.